Let's get started with the video clips.
Look at this bozo hanging out at Home Depot in an ice jacket, pretending like he's on a TV show called To Catch a Day Laborer. But here's the real catch. He's not even an ICE agent. That's right. Did you know you can get an ice jacket on Etsy for just $20? And what's crazy is, you don't just have nincompoops like this guy doing it, you also have January 6 rioters getting into the costume.
He's a notorious January 6 defendant that was originally forced to live here upon release. Free now, be leaving this city on the 28th, so just having some fun before I leave. And go to Home Depot and watch the reaction.
Brandon Fellows, that's his name.
So this kid is out there harassing people for laughs, just to see who runs. But what's stopping him, or others like him, from targeting tourists who are legally visiting on a visa? You could be in Vegas at a slot machine, or walking on a beach in Florida, and suddenly be confronted by someone playing fake ICE officer. Just one more thing to worry about on your trip to the United States. Not worth it, in my opinion. Let's hear more from this MAGA kid.
Do you actually work for ICE?
No, not at all. Nope.
Explain the outfit.
It's $29.99 on Amazon. I would recommend buying a small if you're my size. This one's a little too loose for my liking. But yeah, if you want some entertainment, wear this and go to a Home Depot in a sanctuary city like where I live right now, Washington, D.C., and you'll see all the illegals, not all of them, but you can maybe see a lot of them start to run away, and you feel like a group fitness instructor. It's really good.
And you actually think that's funny?
I think it's hilarious, absolutely. What's not funny is them illegally...
There you have it, everybody. One of the worst people I've seen here at CPAC, and that's saying something.
This guy is one of the worst pieces of shit I've ever seen. Wearing a fake ICE jacket from Etsy just to mess with people. This is what Trump's America looks like now. To my fellow Canadians still crossing into the US, is this normal to you? Is this something you want to worry about on vacation? He may not be targeting tourists yet, but he's not the only one. There are likely thousands more just like him now. I'll wrap up by showing you the full congressional hearing from earlier in the video. Let me know in the comments what you think the Trump administration would say about all of this.
I want to address several issues. I'm going to try not to repeat a lot of issues that have been addressed, but I do have some substantial concerns over how ICE agents present themselves to the public. Oftentimes, we've seen many videos out there where they're masked and not properly identified. I have a lot of real personal concern about that. I just put myself in the situation of that woman from Tufts, for example. You're just walking down the street, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, 3 masked men, not properly identified, attack you and try to take you away. I find that to be reprehensible and not the values of this country. What steps are you taking to make sure that your ICE agents are not masked and properly identified when they approach someone?
Well, ICE agents always identify themselves to individuals that they're encountering or that they're working with. What I would say as far as if they are wearing something over their faces, it's oftentimes because that agent has been involved in undercover operations or needs to be able to continue the investigative work that they do on a day-to-day basis.
But don't you think, Madam Secretary, that people have a right to see whoever's trying to apprehend them? I think it's creating this unrealistic vigilante system. And are you aware that your materials, ICE agents, jackets and the sorts, are available on Etsy for $20? Anybody can do that, throw a mask on, and run around and terrorizing people of color without any regard for the law, without any regard, because your agency does not have proper protocols to make sure their agents are clearly identified and marked when they're executing their jobs.
Our agents do identify themselves. They verbally do that, and then also by the clothing that they're wearing. And if they do have something that is covering some of their facial features, it's for their investigative work or their undercover work that they do as a part of their job duties as well. What I would say is that it is important that we follow the procedures and protocols for every encounter that we have, and they have done that in every situation to the best of my knowledge.
Well, I would suggest that your protocols need to be revised, because I don't think it's reasonable for masked men to be apprehending people on the streets. I think that instills a lot of fear. It doesn't instill security in the process. And in states like Texas, that is open carry, when any jackadoo can be walking around with a gun. I think some tragic circumstances are at bay.
She dodged the question about Etsy, but are we really surprised? Now, I said I'd end the video with this clip, but I have one more, and it's worth it. It's a reminder of how much Canada, the UK, Australia, France, and Germany stood by the U.S. after 9/11. We showed up. We came to their defense. We lost lives. We gave support without hesitation. And now? This administration acts like it never happened. Would we do it again? I'm not so sure. Let me know in the comments what you think.
Hey Ezekiel, how many countries came to our defense after the 9/11 attack?
Following 9/11, NATO invoked Article 5 in a show of collective defense. And countries like the UK, Canada, Australia, France, and Germany, among others, supported the US in various ways. What else you got?
And how many lives were lost by other countries fighting for us?
The exact number is hard to pinpoint, but thousands of military personnel from other countries lost their lives in Afghanistan and Iraq after 9/11, particularly from countries like the UK, Canada, and other NATO allies. It's a heavy cost. Anything else on your mind?
And how much money was spent by other countries fighting for us?
Trillions were spent globally, with major contributors like the UK, Canada, Australia, and other NATO allies. The financial impact was immense, affecting economies worldwide. What's your next one?
Have any of these countries demanded we pay them back for money spent and lives lost?
No, Pete. The alliance was based on mutual defense and shared goals, not financial reimbursement. These countries stood by the U.S. as allies, bearing the costs and sacrifices together. What's your fifth question?
Last one. Have any of these countries demanded a thank you?
Nah, they haven't demanded it. Expressing gratitude and acknowledging their support has been more of a diplomatic gesture, showing respect and appreciation for their sacrifices. It's all about maintaining strong alliances and friendships. That's your 5. Got more?
Thank you, Ezekiel.